Welcome back to my 5th grade artist and every artist that's joining me today. It's me, Miss P, checking in to say hey, to let you know that I love you and I miss you, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for all of your likes, all your shares, and your subscriptions. I really appreciate it. Please feel free to share these videos with your families or any of your friends or anybody that needs a little extra creativity in their lives right now. Thank you again for joining me. And as you know, if you've been with me since last week, I am walking you through some instructional parts of our lessons that you guys have been accessing through Teleschool, through our Park Lane page, or if you've even had hard copies of the lessons that were sent to you a couple of weeks ago. And so while we're following along with those lessons, today's video is going to help us complete the next part of this lesson before we move on to something else. So we're going to go over some vocabulary. We're going to go over the standard real quick, and then we're going to just review what we did last week, and then we're going to move on to adding color, details, and even a little bit of extra that we can do to help finish this project. Okay? I hope you guys are doing well and staying healthy, helping each other take care of each other, and I hope you're ready to get started. Are you? Let's do it. All right, artists, it's Miss P, aka Miss Pendleton, your art teacher here again, going over some vocabulary that we talked about last week. We briefly talked about 1-point perspective, but we're going to get further into that, and there's going to be a bonus video talking specifically about perspective and how to do this. But more importantly, for right now, for this project, we talked about foreground, which are the items that are in the front, or the object in the front of your artwork. Middle ground, those are the things that are in the middle of your artwork. And things that are in the background often look far away, so we draw them smaller. We talked about overlapping. That's when you draw one thing over something else to show depth, which means you're going back into distance, or you're showing distance in your artwork, which is related to size, which means that things that are closer, we draw larger. Things that are a little further away in the middle ground, we draw a little smaller. And things that are in the background, we draw especially small, okay? We talked about this standard, Visual Arts 5, creating 1, engaging in the creative process to generate and visualize ideas by using subject matter and symbols to communicate meaning. So last week we started working on our cityscape. We talked about a horizon line, the line that goes across your page to let you know where the sky ends and the ground begins. We talked about 2 horizon lines because you were adding things to the background as well. And we talked about an additional horizon line because you have things in the foreground that you drew a little bit larger, things in the middle ground that are proportionally a little bit smaller, like compared to the other trucks and other things that you might add, and even smaller things in the background that let you know that it's far away, which means that you are showing me an understanding of depth. That is what I'm looking for in this project. Your ability to add these things, add these buildings that mean something to you. You made these artistic choices, but I'm also looking for your ability to draw things larger in the foreground, smaller in the middle ground, and extra small, especially extra small in the background to show depth, okay? So if you're not finished this part, go ahead and finish this drawing. Finish adding details, such as windows. Of course, we're artists, so we can add whatever details and however we want them to look. You can make them stylized, which means it's kind of extra fancy. You made up the way that you want them to look. They can look any way you want to. I'm gonna add some funky stuff down there. Take your time and add some more details, but for right now, I'm gonna move forward with adding some color. Okay, so if you happen to have crayons or colored pencils with you, there's no particular color scheme that we're looking for this project. However, if you want to use warm and cool colors, if you want to use a monochromatic scheme, that means one color. You can use different types of blues for this, or different types of reds, or different types of orange. Or if you have just your pencil, I can show you how to add color with that. First, we're always going to add color to the background first. And so I'm going to add some color to the sky. That's one of the largest parts. And then we're going to just slowly move forward as we add color. And then we're going to jump around a bit. You're the artist, it's up to you. This is something that works well for me and works well for a lot of my young artists. But look, this is really all up to you. Do what feels best for you. Most importantly, try to make sure that by the time you're finished, you're not leaving any white space. Even if you use the color white, feel free to use it. And try to make sure every color has space. And if you can't, think about even blending colors. I'm adding a couple of different, I had to use some indigo, and I think I'm gonna add a little bit of blue here, maybe have an evening sky. Now, if you do not have pencils or crayons, I'm sorry, if you don't have crayons or colored pencils, if you have markers, go for it. But markers sometimes go through the page, so be very careful. I always recommend, when you're adding a lot of color, crayons or colored pencils. Or if you have a pencil available, you can always use a pencil to add color. We are able to use a pencil to add color by changing its value, which means we can make it light or we can make it dark, depending on how hard we press the pencil. So if I want the building to be a darker value of this gray color, I'm pressing extra hard. If I want it to be a little lighter, I press a little lighter. Let's say I make the next building a slightly lighter value too. I'm just pressing lightly with my pencil instead of pressing really, really hard. Let's say I want this building in front to be darker. Pressing extra hard. Let's say I want this building over here to be extra dark. Pressing extra hard. And then going over it again to make it extra dark. So there are a lot of ways that you can add color or add value just by using your pencil. The softer you use it, the softer you press, the lighter it will be. The harder you press with your pencil, the darker the value will be. So if I wanted to, and if I needed to, I can add value and color, this gray color, to all of my buildings. Let's do like a medium, pressing kind of hard, not too hard. And let's do an extra light one right here. See how light I'm pressing with that? And if you notice, I'm not pressing down, straight down with the pencil, I'm kind of holding the pencil on the side. It makes the lead a little flatter, this part of the pencil, the lead. It makes it a little smoother. But if you do happen to have some other means of adding color, it is up to you how you want to do that. You might want to add some vibrancy, some bright colored buildings. You may want to blend colors. You may want to include patterns in your buildings. These buildings can be as imaginative as you want them to be. Again, I am looking for creativity, originality, and your understanding of how to demonstrate depth. Showing things that look far away and showing things that look close up. I think I'll do one more building over here in color. Purple. And I can even change the value of this purple. See, I'm just pressing lightly. So I have a lighter value of the purple at the top, a darker value of the purple at the top. Let me show you that with one more color. Let's see. Let's do this one building in red violet. I'm pressing a little lighter. But when I get to the windows, I'm going to make a darker value of this red violet by pressing harder. So there are a lot of different ways that you can add color and or value to your artwork. So if you have 2 crayons around, you can use those 2 crayons and have a gajillion different ways to show value. Or if you have crayons around, use as many colors as you have. Or if you have a pencil around, you can use pencil. Whatever you have around you, you can use it to make art. Okay, what do you think? So here is my finished cityscape. Remember, for yourself, you could have done a landscape which would have featured natural things like trees, hills, mountainscapes, whatever you wanted to, or you could have done a cityscape. But most important, I wanted to see how you could show me your understanding of depth. Things that are in the front are larger, things in the background are drawn smaller. And I wanted to see you try to overlap. Please try to make sure that you are drawing some items in front of other items or objects, okay? So when you guys are finished, please don't forget to email me your finished work, send me pictures of your finished work. You can send them through Microsoft Teams. You can send them through my email address. You can ask your parents. Please make sure you're asking your parents to share these things and get in touch with me. Even through this channel is just fine. I'm looking forward to seeing your work, and I'm so thankful that we're still able to be creative together. Now, don't forget, you have an additional part of this assignment. If you got the hard copy or if you've seen the lesson on Teleschool, make sure after you're finished, you're adding some writing about what it is that you drew. Where is it? What happens there? Maybe only 2 to 3 sentences. Just something to add some information to your artwork. And don't forget, if you have access to the internet, and if you're watching this, it means you do, feel free to do a little more research on the vocabulary that we are sharing today, okay? Guys, I cannot wait to see your work, and I can't wait to see you again. Don't forget, even at home, practice self-control, be nice to each other, help each other, take care of each other, and always continue to be creative. This is Miss P signing off. I love you guys, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.